Hey, what's going on guys? John here, and today we're going to be going over the This Week at Bungie for October 15th, 2020. Now, before we jump into things, I'd really appreciate if you guys gave me a subscribe if you end up liking my content. But anyways, let's jump into it. This week at Bungie, we're calling the shot for the next race to World First. Destiny 2 Beyond Light is about a month away from launch. For us, this means closing out the game and getting ready to hand it off to you, with a few more fun social media events to unveil along the way. For you, this means a final stretch of anticipating the new story in a new world you'll experience as you aim down the barrel of your weapon of choice. For the elite raiders in the room, this means a new shot at glory. The race to a world first completion of a raid is one of the most spirited traditions in the Destiny community. Race days when the world turns its eyes to Destiny to see who emerges as a hero. We have stood next to some of those legends on stage while they claimed their titles in front of a cheering crowd. It's almost time to fire that starting pistol once again. And yeah, if you don't know what they're referencing here, actually a couple years ago at, I think it was GCX or something, or Guardian Con, I don't know the exact event, but they did go on stage and give everyone their raid belts, which was a pretty neat event. But anyways, moving on, they state that the next race for the world's first will be on Saturday, November 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific. And even though daylight savings is coming back, or whatever the hell it's called, they did note that it'll still be 10 a.m. even though the reset will be at 9 a.m. That should give you plenty of time to get ready. We see you assembling your fire teams and conspiring how to power your way up to the competitive level. We hear you asking when you should call in sick. Now you know, so get to finalizing your plans. Here is what else you'll need to know. Contest mode will cap all players at 20 power below each encounter for 24 hours. Artifact power will be disabled during contest mode. 20-30 power is your team's goal to be at the cap for all encounters. Being above 20-30 will not provide any additional advantage in the final fight. And so this is good to hear, with the raid being at 1230 power and there being about a week buffer between the launch of Beyond Light and the launch of the raid. This will definitely give a lot of people a chance at this raid race. Now, personally, when it comes to the raid race, I don't think I'm gonna necessarily try to get worlds first, but I definitely will try to complete the raid within the first 24 hours. But if I somehow happen to get worlds first, I will definitely be live streaming that day on twitch.tv/HTurnerJohn. And just to be clear, I have no team set out for this. I don't usually have a set group of people I play with, so most likely will be a bunch of LFG randoms, so this will definitely be very interesting. And honestly, I'm very excited for this event, but anyways, moving on. This year, the ritual for naming the winners will be different. Following all the immediate fanfare and bustle that follows the checkered flag, our data scientists will be spending extra time validating the finishing team's run. Expect the official announcement for World's First to come a bit later than usual. Disqualifications can happen as per the official rules, so finish strong even if you hear the rumors of another team's victory. And yeah, ever since last year, since Destiny went free to play and has entered the Steam market on PC, there has definitely been a large uptick in cheating. And unfortunately, because of how Destiny works as a game, they can't really put in a proper anti-cheat, so this makes sense why it'll be taking an elongated time to double check the winners. But anyways, if you're not up to date on the world's first rules, on Bungie's website they state the following. The first fire team of 6 to complete the Deepstone Crypt raid will be declared world first by Bungie from the @Bungie on Twitter after verification from our analytics team. If a fire team cycled through different members during the activity, the final 6 remaining upon the completion of the final encounter will be declared the winners and be awarded the raid world first title belts. The fire team must loot the final chest before returning to orbit, or their finish may not be recorded. A team's official finish will be recorded when they return to orbit. And something of interest I'd like to note here is in previous years they did say that you did have to live stream this, but I do see here that they don't even state that you don't have to live stream, so if people are not comfortable with live stream, this should, this may be your opportunity. So moving on, an award ceremony will take place in the days that follow the raid. We'll crown the champion champions who return first to orbit after respectable effort. Once we validate a mission completion, we'll enter their names into history. Every member of the 6-player fire team who is certified as the world first finishers will receive a title belt as their ultimate reward. We will unveil the new belt closer to the start of the race. Even if you don't win world first honors, the earliest victors in the raid can claim some awesome rewards to let the world know you were among the first to fight. Everyone who has completed the raid in the first 24 hours while contest mode is activated will receive this very special emblem, which I will be showing on screen now, which looks pretty cool. I like the style of this emblem. For those of you who want to flex in style, we'll be offering a new Europa Ready raid jacket you can purchase through Bungie Rewards. Finish the raid before December 1st at 9 AM Pacific Time to claim your code. You can use that code to make your purchase anytime before 11:59 PM Pacific on December 31st. We'll show off a preview of that jacket closer to the launch of the raid. And man, as much as I am hyped for this jacket, I'm kinda sad that I'm probably not going to be able to get it, because if you don't know, these raid jackets are pretty expensive. I'm talking like it's $150 for one jacket. But man, is the quality up there and they are cool as hell. I even have one myself from the Crown of Sorrows and it looks pretty nice. I highly recommend if you're into Destiny, you definitely pick up one of these raid jackets at some point in your lifetime. But this kind of leads me to a little bit of a side tangent here. Actually, on Bungie's store right now, you can buy a jacket called Guardian of the Last City. And this is of the same style, price, and quality of a raid jacket, just without the raid theming. So if you'd like a raid style jacket but you never ever have the chance to get one, hey, there's one on Bungie's website right now, and it definitely looks nice. Moving on, for those of you who like to savor new content like a fine wine and not rush through the raid experience, you will have rewards waiting on you when you get there. Along with the redacted weapons and armor, everyone who completes the raid will earn this emblem, and, you know, the emblem's, it's alright. It's not the worst looking emblem, but it's definitely not the best. But yeah, that pretty much ends the section for the raid race. Next up is next gen console details. And right before the Twab was posted earlier today, they actually put out a little tiny chart on what is to come to next gen consoles. And they state that starting December 8th, next gen consoles will have the following. Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 will both have access to 4K resolution. They'll run at 60 FPS. There will be an FOV slider. The load times will be faster. There will be cross-generation play. And the next gen upgrade is 100% free. They also have some little extra notes here. They are offering a FOV customization on consoles for the first time. Their goal is to enable a FOV range similar to PC, and that they're currently testing these settings to ensure smooth performance across each platform, and they will have additional details closer to launch. There will be noticeable improvements to things like loading the game and inspecting character inventory. However, some load times are dependent on networking and matchmaking, so loading activity still takes time while you search for opponents. And lastly, for cross-generation play, Xbox Series X and S players can play with Xbox One players, and PlayStation 5 players can play with PlayStation 4 players. And I do note that faster load times and cross-gen play will be available day 1 on November 10th. Everything else will be coming December 8th. And oh boy, console players, you are in for a treat. This will definitely change how you play the game. Anyways, back onto the Twab, they go on to make a reminder that they did increase the drops of the cipher decoders, and also as a reminder that there is a Mummy Ghost pin and special emblem available through Bungie Rewards if you turn in 15 ciphers. So if you haven't got that, make sure you check out your Bungie Rewards to get that. Next up in the Twab, Bungie states that they're bringing back the Community Art Series to the Bungie store. And if you don't know, I think it was last year, and they may have done it previous years, I don't exactly remember, but last year I know I definitely bought a piece. They actually occasionally bring community artists to the store where they're able to sell something, so that's pretty neat. And the following artists are participating in this: Quentin Felker, which made the Ghastly Guardians poster, and then John Sermon, who made the Cult of Nokris t-shirt, so it's pretty nice. And lastly, there's Brandon McCamey, which made the Blade in the Dark poster. And you actually probably already know this guy. His name is Gamma Trap, and he actually helps out with my own games and his art a lot. So yeah, if you want to support any of these artists, you go to the Bungie store and you buy any of their pieces. Next up is some things from the player support team, which Just to give a little summarization, since this is very brief, they basically state that Cypher decoders do not drop from enemy kills, gambit matches, forward completions, and non-playlist strikes, and that the end of the season is coming up, and there is some issues with the Haunted Forest dropping at 750 power, but that's pretty much it for the player support team, as most of it is repeat stuff from last week. And with that brings us to the movies of the week, and if you want to check that out, Twab will always be linked in the description down below. And before we close out this Twab, there is a little paragraph from Deej, one of the community managers that's been here a long time. He actually ended up writing this Twab, but basically in these little couple of paragraphs here, Deej does state that he will be leaving Bungie on November 6, 2020. And this is very sad. He's been a active community manager since November 7th of 2011. And so he's been at Bungie for quite a long time, and not the rag on the other community managers, but he's definitely one of my favorite community managers. You know, back in the day, during the Destiny 1 days, he used to write all the twabs and everything, and he definitely is a very charismatic guy. And I'll definitely miss the days of seeing him pop up on the Destiny reveal live streams while wearing a fancy suit. But anyways, that pretty much closes out the video here. This was Trainer John. If you enjoyed, go ahead and give a like, and go ahead and subscribe if you want to keep up to date on all Destiny 2 news, information, leaks, and tutorials. I actually got a pretty spicy leak video coming up. And Twitch and Twitter will also be linked in the description down below. But yeah, with that being said, I have to get back to my anime game, and I'll see ya in the next one. Peace.